Stop using compost bins. This cardboard method grows food 40% faster. If your compost bin smells bad, takes forever, and still delivers average soil, you're not doing anything wrong. The system is. Today's video makes a bold promise. With nothing more than soaked cardboard, kitchen scraps, and water, you can build living soil that grows crops faster, richer, and cleaner than most compost bins ever will. The compost bin problem nobody talks about. Compost bins are sold as the fastest, cleanest solution, yet many gardeners quietly struggle with them. They dry out too fast, go anaerobic, need constant turning, and depend on plastic containers that limit airflow. The result is slow breakdown, uneven compost, odors, and soil that looks finished but lacks life. Cardboard composting solves the real issue. Bins create separation from the soil ecosystem. Instead of trapping decomposition in a container, this method turns the ground itself into the engine. Cardboard is not food. It's infrastructure. Cardboard doesn't work because it feeds plants directly. It works because it builds structure underground. Corrugated cardboard holds water and air at the same time. When soaked properly, it becomes a living sponge that creates perfect conditions for microbes, fungi, and worms. This balance is what compost bins constantly fail to maintain. Too dry and life slows down. Too wet and it rots. Cardboard stabilizes both without effort. The exact formula that makes it work. This system only works when ratios are correct. For every square meter of garden bed, the base formula is simple and repeatable. You need cardboard, green material, brown material, and water in the right proportions. For 1 square meter, you'll want to start with cardboard that's been soaked fully in water for at least 30 minutes. Use enough water so the cardboard is saturated, but, not dripping wet. This usually takes about 8 to 10 liters of water for each square meter. The cardboard should feel heavy and flexible, not stiff. On top of the soaked cardboard, add green material like kitchen scraps or fresh grass clippings, aiming for a depth of about 5 centimeters. Then add brown material such as dry leaves or shredded cardboard, also at a depth of 5 centimeters. Water this layer lightly, using 2 liters of water for each square meter. Just repeat the layering process until the total height reaches around 40 to 45 centimeters. Be sure to finish with a brown layer to help control moisture and odor. The final moisture level should feel kind of like a wrung-out sponge. If you squeeze a handful and water drips out, it's just too wet. But if it crumbles and feels dry, go ahead and add water slowly. For a garden bed measuring about 1.2 by 2.4 meters, you're working with roughly 3 square meters. That means, you'll need approximately 25 to 30 liters of water just for soaking the cardboard. Use plain brown corrugated cardboard only. Go ahead and tear it slightly before soaking, so water penetrates fully. Lay the soaked cardboard directly on the soil, overlapping the edges, so no ground is exposed. This suppresses weeds and locks moisture in place. Add about 15 centimeters of mixed layers, using the green and brown ratio described earlier. Lightly water each layer, so microbes activate immediately. Once finished, let the bed rest for 2 weeks before planting shallow-rooted crops, or 4 weeks for heavy feeders. Plants don't grow faster because cardboard adds nutrients. They grow faster because nutrients are released earlier and more consistently. The constant moisture allows microbes to stay active day and night. Worms move into the bed because conditions are stable. Their tunnels pull oxygen down into the layers and distribute nutrients evenly. This turns scraps into plant-available food much faster than compost sitting in a bin waiting to be turned. Bad smells in the garden usually come from a lack of oxygen. Cardboard, interestingly enough, naturally prevents this by creating those handy air pockets. If a bed ever smells sour, it's not actually failing, it's just asking for a little balance. All you need to do is add a dry brown layer about 5 centimeters thick and gently poke holes down through the bed using a stick or a fork. Just remember, do not mix or turn anything. Within a few days, the smell will disappear as airflow returns. Compost bins? Well, they finish compost and then kind of stop contributing. But cardboard beds, on the other hand, keep working season after season. As the cardboard breaks down, it becomes carbon-rich humus, and that really improves the soil structure permanently. Water gets in faster, roots grow deeper, and nutrients stay right where your plants can reach them. This turns your garden into a self-repairing system, instead of just a feeding station that constantly needs more inputs. Only plain brown cardboard should be used, seriously. Avoid any glossy, colored, or wax-coated material. And make sure you remove all tape, labels, and staples completely. Even small bits of plastic can slow down decomposition and contaminate your soil. Clean inputs create clean soil. It's as simple as that. This step really isn't optional if you want long-term soil health. So if after 2 or 3 months you still see recognizable scraps, your system probably needs a little activation. Just add 1 handful of garden soil per square meter and water lightly with about 2 liters of water. This step introduces native microbes that help restart the process. You can also add a thin layer of fresh green material to boost nitrogen. Remember, balance always restores itself when moisture and air are corrected. The bed is ready when the surface layer looks dark, crumbly, and smells earthy. This usually happens between 4 and 6 months, depending on temperature. At this stage, seeds germinate faster and transplants establish with less shock. Crops grow more evenly because roots encounter living soil from day one. Once gardeners see faster harvests, fewer weeds, no odors, and no turning, compost bins start to feel unnecessary. Cardboard composting costs almost nothing, scales to any space, and works directly where plants grow. It replaces equipment with biology and effort with understanding. This isn't just a composting trick. It's a mindset shift. Instead of controlling decomposition in containers, gardeners are letting soil organisms do the work where it matters. Cardboard is not the star. Life is. And when conditions are right, life does the rest. If this video changed how you think about composting, make sure to subscribe to Soil and Crop Central and share this with someone still struggling with a compost bin. The simplest systems often grow the strongest gardens.